Frankie with The Calling, and if you haven't heard yet, this is the place where you can find great interviews with some great artists, Christian pastors, people out there who are really doing something for God. And so today we got a great guest on the show, a hip-hop artist that is probably famously known for his Green Light and Legacy albums. He's back in the grind. Today we want to welcome Legacy. Welcome to the show, man.
All right, thanks for having me, Frankie. It's good to be here.
Hey, it's been a little bit. You've been in, I guess, hiatus for a little while. Tell us what's motivated you back into the game.
Well, first off, I never really wanted to take a permanent leave, but I did take some time to focus on my family and try to just kind of reestablish myself, in one sense. Also, I'm really motivated now to make music that connects on a deeper level. I'm influenced, obviously, by a lot of my peers, a lot of people that I'm around. But I also now have spent a lot more time just around your average, everyday working person, people out there. And I always wanted to make music to uplift and encourage. And so that never left me. That desire was always there. And I think it just grew to a point where I recognized that this is the right time, number one, for me to do it because I have something to say. And number two, just the way that God orchestrated certain things and kind of opened up some doors for me to do so, really recognize that this was a really good time for me to go ahead and step out and get back involved.
That's awesome. And you got the album coming out March 15th. We're going to say that a few times throughout the internet and give you enough plugs here. Your new album, I believe it's called Green Legs and Spam. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah, Green Legs and Spam. Yeah.
So right off the bat, we're going to ask about the name. Tell us about the name, where you got it from, what's the inspiration behind that?
Well, of course, your first inclination is to gravitate towards the Green Eggs and Ham book by Dr. Seuss, which I've read thousands of times. Read it a couple times to my daughter. She doesn't really like it as much as I do, oddly enough. But it really kind of struck me because, obviously I did Green Light, the album, and then I have my Legacy album. And what really inspired me was sort of a play on words, just green legs. You think of the gospel, green light, go. What carries the gospel is, the green light, the Great Commission. So I'm playing off of that. My last name is Green, and so I kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun with that. Another thing is Spam. You can think of it in two ways. Spam is obviously fake meat, and in the book, he thought that the green eggs, were kind of nasty, wouldn't like it. In the same way, Spam is fake. Spam is also that junk that you get in your email, your inbox. And so I kind of relate that to sin and deception and lies and whatnot. They look good, they taste good, they pull you in, but it's definitely no good for you. So that's kind of my angle on that as far as the meaning. But the real thing is it's more of a remix album, and so it's a way to kind of bring two of my past projects together with a fresh look and just have fun with it, really. Just kind of bring my music back to people, put a fresh spin on it, and kind of prep them for the new album that's going to come out next year.
Well, definitely you've always had a creative vibe. I like that about your music and your style. Tell us, I know this is a remix album, and more coin for that, but tell us what's a little bit different about it. What can we expect when we go to get this bad boy on Amazon?
Well, what you're going to check out, first off, when you listen to it on Amazon or wherever you decide to go to get it, you can also check it out on my website as far as previews. You're going to find a lot more upbeat music, dance music in one sense. So some of it veers away from typical hip-hop and has a little more dance feel, whereas other parts of it are very much your typical hip-hop, but maybe in a classic approach. As opposed to what you hear on the radio. But honestly, it's a little bit of everything, and because it's a remix album, the whole vein of it was to really put a fresh spin on it. So that's more or less what you're going to get, something fresh. It may remind you of music you heard in the past, such as a classic era hip-hop. It may also remind you of something you hear on like a top 40, more dancey stuff. So I think there'll be something for everybody.
Well, if you're tuning in just now, this is an interview with Legacy. He's got a brand new album coming out called Green Legs and Spam, March 15th. You can catch that on iTunes, Amazon, your website. What's your website, by the way, so that people can know?
All right, where you want to go is www. Obviously, which nobody says anymore. But you want to go to Green Legs and Spam. Just spell it all out, one word together. greenlegsandspam.net. So that .net will take you to basically my official page for the album. It'll show you a little bit about myself, pictures, obviously all that kind of stuff. But it'll also link you to my store where you can preview and purchase the music. And then I also have an official artist page, legacy813.com. You can definitely check that one out. But I think you'll really get a kick out of the greenlegsandspam.net. And I would love to see you there and get your feedback from that.
Yeah, now I see on your Facebook page, I think your Twitter, you have is that going to be the album cover with the orange and the artwork you got there, or is that just something you're playing with?
No, that's it. That's the one. So it looks like the Green Eggs and Ham book, but it's me, and I've got green pants on, and rather than having a plate of ham or eggs or whatnot, the plate basically has a turntable, because obviously we do hip-hop, dance, and whatnot. And you'll notice some hip-hop elements incorporated into that.
Awesome. Now, on this remix album, you collaborating with a few folks. Go ahead and tell us who you're on with on this album, and I think you have a new guy with you as well. So tell us about that.
I bring back some old friends that I've worked with in the past, such as Urban D, Los One, Raw Servant, all great friends of mine, and I've done work with in the past. Jabo, I don't know if you've heard Jabo, and some other guys that are pretty well known as far as our genre. K-Drama, who is a good brother, hilarious, and Sean Slaughter. So those are some familiar names. But I've also brought some other friends that are a little bit newer to our genre. Last couple of years, A-Flow and Kelly Kells, who are part of a group called Focused. They're out here by me locally, as well as Corey Hicks, who is a really good friend of mine. We go back to like Bible college days. And a newcomer who's also a good friend of mine, and that's Jehu. Jehu is originally from Bradenton, Florida. He actually lives in Buffalo, New York now. Good brother, loves Lord, loves his family, and loves making music. And so I really wanted to key in with the people that I just really vibe with. And so that's why I've chosen to bring those artists onto the project with me.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and definitely. Now, you signed with the new label. Tell us about that and what brought you to those terms as far as, going in that direction.